Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name's Ron Palmer, and the video I'm about to do for you is part of a set of 3 videos. The first one you've already seen. It's called our 3 options video. It's a 3-minute one that gives our new people and indeed our current members the 3 options they have when they're in our CFX business. The second one is a video I've made of the process we take you through. So where we're up to now, guys, you know what the why is. You know before we start anything and you get a new member, you bring them into our business and you ask them why. Why have you joined CFX? Some of them will say, I want to join as what we call a pocket money member, but most people's why will be like most people who join. They will say to you, it's because I want to improve my financial situation. I'm lurching towards retirement and I'm really worried. I have a look at my pension and I can tell, as we've all seen the graphics of the scam we've all been part of. It's called a job. It's called the 40-40-40 scam, where we work for 40 hours a week for 40 years and are expected to retire on 40% of what we couldn't get by on when we were working. And I need to find a way out. So what we're going to do now, the video I'm doing now, so we've done the why. This is really the how and the what. So once we've signed your people up and we get them into the business and we know their why, we then explain to them the process of how our mentoring program, which is inextricably linked to our landing pages, is going to help you along that road. And the process, according to how fast you want it to move, is going to take you a year, 18 months to get the financial freedom. We all know that doesn't mean Learjets, ships, boats and planes. It is purely, if you Google it, it is having the ability to pay one's reasonable daily living expenses without working. That means the rent, doesn't it? It means the mortgage. It means putting food on the table. It means holidays. It means weekend breaks with your loved ones. It means overindulging the grandchildren and overindulging granddads like me. So that's what the financial freedom is. So the mentoring program, we have 3 calls a week. One of them is a Monday. I'm going to give you UK times, and the schedule is in all the groups. Monday's one is at 11 o'clock. Tuesday's one is at 8:30. It's part of Victoria's team called the Invictus team, where we get shed loads of very buzzy people, and the last one is a Friday at midday. And we're also able to fit people in to their busy schedule and do a one-to-one mentoring call. And the mentoring call helps them along the road. We tell them the importance of building a warm list and how important it is to get that list, and about not prejudging people. We then tell them the value of a vision board, because if you don't have a vision or you don't have targets, you won't get anywhere. So we help them to formulate their vision board. We then explain, if you're half serious about this business, you really need to set yourself at a weekly target of a minimum of 5 hours a week. And when they moan and groan about that, I simply tell them that's not a lot, guys. The weekly hours, 168 hours, 5 hours is only a minuscule. Broken down into days, it is 40 minutes a day. And then you have to know, now we've broken it down into bite-sized pieces, what do I have to do with that time? We're not talking about working hard, are we? We're talking about working smart. And we then ask you, how many calls or messages can you manage to send out? I actually send out 20 today before I'm even got out of bed. Most people don't do what I do. Oh, it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 15. And we set you out there, and as long as you can manage one of our mentoring calls a week. That's all you've got to commit to. And there's no excuse if you can't make them, because we'll schedule a one-to-one call. And what we will do, we will make you accountable for your targets, not our targets, your targets. Why aren't you meeting them? What problems are you coming up against? What are the objections that you're getting? And in case people think, well, hold on a minute, it's all right, Ron saying this, but how about what do we actually have to do? Well, what we'll do, we'll create your own little mini mentoring group. It could be you and a friend of yours who you brought into the business. And we'll tell you exactly the messages to send out. And if it was to your warm market, it might be something like, hello, Jack. Great to connect. After such a long time, I hope you're staying safe and COVID-free. Look, Jack, you know how I value your opinion. Would you do me a favour? Would you be offended if I asked you to do me a 10-minute favour? And he's very unlikely to say no about that. And when he gets back and says, yes, of course, you'll find out a time, or you might say why, and you'll say, look, all I want you to do, would you kindly have a look at a 90-second and an 8-minute video? Tell me what you like best about it. This is not something that I've designed. It comes from the very top. This system was designed by John Kinnear. And I'll tell you what, not only is he the marketing director of the company, guys, he has a team of 120,000. So my take is it's good enough for John Kinnear. It's certainly good enough for me. And it should be good enough for you to follow. So once we've done that, what we're talking about here, we call it the key to open the door of conversation. You'll send them that message. They just look at the message and they don't answer it. We have a few little keys we try turning. One might say, hey, you can respond. I don't bite, you know, lol, and they might get back. Or you might say, hey, Jack, on a lighter note, have you made your first million yet? Or are you like me, still waiting in the queue? And once you open the door, you might look at their profile. So if Jack had a classic car in the garage, I might say, Jack, is there any chance of us spinning that lovely car? Excuse me, guys. And he might say, yeah, if you want to travel 6,000 miles to Brisbane, or if he was in England, he might say, no, you can't, Ron. I've heard about your driving ability. Or if Jack was at a granddad's age like me, I might say, do you know what, Jack? I haven't got too much time to spend online today. I've got my two little adorable granddaughters running me back. And Jack might say, yeah, I had the same at the weekend, Ron. I got a few days off. And again, you're breaking down barriers. They're now not strangers. And whatever message they send to you, you maybe haven't at the beginning, certainly. You wouldn't have the skill sets to how to reply. You will put that reply in the group. Now, one of our leadership team will compose a reply and answer it. And these little messages will go back and forth, and we will know instinctively when the time is to strike. It's called a follow-up. And either Janet or Andy or Chrissy or Jenny will say, this needs to be the next message. Look, Jack, judging by our conversations we've had over the last few days, I think the time may be right to get you to jump on a Zoom call with a couple of people further up the food chain. They're very, very, very open and transparent. They're going to show you their back office. They will show you their withdrawals. They will show you their income. So only and only when you're ready, and that won't be today, this call is not to expect you to join up. No one's got a gun to hold to your head. We want you to go away on the call. We want to answer your objections. And then only and only when you're ready, you'll be in a position to be able to justify whether this is for you or not. Does that sound okay? So that is really what the why is and what the what is. So we've got the why, We've now got the how and we've got the what. And to make it easy, once I've fully finished this video, which won't be very long, I'm going to put it on one message with my other two videos. Oh, again, you've got everything in place instead of how we're doing it at the moment, having to stop, where's that message, where's that video? Well, you've got to scroll back. I call it the rawhide story. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Keep those fingers scrolling. And it does get tiresome and lots of messages get lost. But I think having all three videos on the same video, guys, I think we're going to be there or thereabouts. Well,